Hi, Mike. Can you hear me okay? It's that awkward moment when we get no sound. Just turn it down if you wanted to. Okay. No, can you hear me? Hang on.
There we go.
That's it.
What's up?
Hi, Mike. You okay?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
It's finally nice that we get to connect instead of social media.
Yeah. I've noticed a few people I've been speaking to. I've never actually spoken to him like this, or any.
Yeah.
Obviously not face to face because quite a bit of distance between us. But
Yeah.
Apart from that message on Instagram. But yeah.
Well, it's crazy because I think we connected on Instagram. What now? Probably 2, 3, probably 4 years. It's been quite some time. I think that we've been following each other, and I think we kind of fell onto this with the whole DeFranco thing. I imagine, right? Like I think we got in connection through that. I imagine.
Yeah, I've noticed the CPPS logos down at your place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did the CPPS. I did the first online cert.
Okay, nice.
3, 4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How did you like the online?
Obviously, I'd rather be there in person, and I'm planning to get down there at some point. Yeah, and actually spend a weekend down there. That'll be cool.
For sure.
But yeah, so online is cool. We get to all the online resources we've still got. So that's I always like if you do something, you get to keep the resources afterwards.
For sure.
Some online courses that I've done, you don't necessarily get to keep the sort of the material after. So that always helps.
Nice, dude. And so how are you surviving the whole quarantine?
Yeah, we've had to adapt loads. Obviously, I don't officially market myself as an online coach, but I've had to do online training.
Right.
So we keep in touch with our guys quite well. We use an app called Trainerize, which is quite similar to, I think we've had a chat about this before, haven't we? It's quite similar to what you guys use.
Right.
So we keep in touch through that and through WhatsApp. And, the only thing that's different, we still have a bit of banter and we still like keep in touch, and we still, we have like, we start like a quiz night on once a week to keep in touch with people, doing online check-in, see how the training's going along. But the only thing that's missing really is just the environment of being in the gym, really.
And that's the thing, I just had a chat with a local trainer in the city. He owns another facility in the city, and my number one thing with him was to say, listen, like we're all in the same boat here. We're all in the same situation. Let's all connect and figure out how we can make our community better as a whole. Forget about competing, and let's join together as an industry locally to make sure that we can thrive, independently, but also together, right? And the one common thing that we shared was that, Zoom calls are great and all, and virtual fitness, like we do it because we have to, we have no other choice, but it does not replace the environment and the atmosphere. And I think for the first time ever, we are realizing how strong community and atmosphere and culture is to personal training. It's not just a matter now of doing a push-up. Sure, like that's great and all, but I think what people thrive under is that community of like-minded individuals. And so when people say our differentiating factor is our community, and I used to scoff at that because I'm like, well, fuck, every gym has a community, but that's the secret. Every gym has a community. Every gym is going to thrive and every gym is gonna produce their own sort of member retention because they have a specific community. So the key there is, yes, every gym has their own unique community, which makes it right. Like that's what it is. It's like we want communities. You can't just have one. You got to have multiple to thrive locally and all that stuff. So like it's just cool to see that come to fruition in this crazy fucked up world that we're in.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's about creating communities, not cliques. So,
Yeah.
like you said before, you reached out to someone else that was near in your area, and it said, it's not about competition. It's about like creating like a community, and a community could be a circle of things. It could be a way greater than what we ever imagined now, especially now because we're kind of forced into that.
Yeah, and I think we've always seen community in the industry when it came to um, uh, trainers that were from different cities. So, like, if you look at the CPPS, that's like the perfect example is that we're all we're all a community and we all respect and love each other. Um, and we seem okay doing it because we're from different cities and we don't mind shooting the shit talking about what we're doing and price points and all that stuff. But the moment it becomes local and it becomes about what's currently like in your city, then we tend to like shy away because we feel like if we discuss our models and what we're doing for price points and stuff with local trainers, that we're automatically going to lose our business. But in fact, it could only make your business probably better. And dude, this took me 8 years in business to figure out. And I've been training now for 15, but like it took me 8 years to understand that there's more to the piece of the pie than just like keeping it just for myself. So like this was awesome that you reached out to me because I think it's such a cool thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I love the stuff that you do. It's the setup that you've got there is, I know that like the atmosphere that you've got and the guys that you have there is very similar to what I have.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it
Likewise.
kind of resonates with other kind of gyms when you see. So there's a guy, Devon, who's another CPPS coach, who
Okay. Yeah.
core strength and performance down in Alabama.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes I look at his gym and I think it's sort of like from flicking through Instagram, I look at his gym and I think, oh shit, when did I post that? And I was looking through and it's really similar setup.
Right.
So I think people kind of get directed to other people who are similar to them or similar goals, or maybe it's just open-mindedness. We try to learn from as many people as we can.
Yeah, of course. No, it's totally cool, and I think I think people are uncertain about what's going to happen to gyms once we reopen. But if you ask me, I think gyms are going to thrive even more now that we're all forced to not go to the gym. And even those that went to like a big box health club and paid their membership dues, they're probably understanding that maybe now it's time to support local and really thrive under a community because like dude, people are going crazy at home, whether it's a mental health issue, whether it's like there's just so much anxiety through this whole time that I think it's making people really aware of that their health. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, you cut out a little bit there, but I kind of got the gist of what you're saying because we've had quite a lot of according to like media, we've had like raising instances in like domestic violence, because obviously there's no escape now. So people
and I just realized, actually I saw a post about this, and I guess how like even like child molestation is going up, and I'm just like, fuck, it's like it really I don't think people understand the scope of this. Like, sure, economically that it's going to mess things up a little bit, sure, obviously like there's deaths in the world, but this is going to like hurt people for like the rest of their life potentially, right? From a anxiety, mental health issue, from all the domestic abuses, all the child molestations that are happening, everybody that is, and I'm not sure what's happening out in your way, but like here, like the liquor stores are open here, right? And so people are coping more with drinking and alcohol to cope with other anxieties, and then that can also lead to other things that sort of trickle down into negativity. So I think it's just this spiral into shit, and I think it's exposing people who already have their insecurities and anxieties, and it's just heightened that realm because we don't have the busyness of the day to day to keep ourselves distracted. I think right now we're really like you have a choice. You either overcome and figure the shit out, or you fall back into negative patterns and the paths that took you down a wrong road. You know, most people have a hard time finding the first thing I mentioned, which is finding that piece of the pie that's going to help you overcome, because it's so easy to get dragged into that path of negative behavior because it's so ingrained into our society. It's ingrained into like our behaviors. It's fucked.
Yeah, I have mates. I have people who I know that have we're into a week. So today's 6 weeks since we closed our gym.
Yeah.
I have mates that don't train with me, but just mates that I've known for a long time. They've had a 6 week holiday, and you know they're I know that they're drinking most days. They're like they're living like what they're thinking is the best life. Just not doing anything for six weeks. Just getting hammered.
It's you know, it sounds fun for the first week, but then, you know, 6 weeks in and what are you going to do? Like, you're going to continue this for the next, you know, 2 months if it lasts, you know? So I don't know.
Mate, I'm old now. I can't, it takes me like a week to get over like a couple of bits.
I know. Honestly, I can't, after a few drinks, I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I can't, like, it's not the same anymore. It's not like I was back in university where I was younger and, you know.
Yeah.
But how old are you now?
I'm 42 this year, 41, 42 in September.
Dude, you're 42. You look like you're fucking 24. I didn't think you were 41.
Well,
Oh,
already my best guess on this show already, Michael.
Wow, dude.
You're already my best guest.
Yeah. I'm Canadian. We're always nice. We're always polite.
Yeah.
No, good for you, man. You looking young. I didn't suspect you were 41 at all. Good shit, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I got into this pretty late. I used to teach. So I used to teach 16 to 18-year-olds who mainly left school, so over able to leave school at 16. And they've got options like college or like an apprenticeship where they can learn a trade and go into the working world. So I did that for nearly 15 years. And then when I left school, I wanted to be a PE teacher, or like phys ed teacher. And that's what I always wanted to do. And just things happening, certain things happen, went down certain roads, right. needed money. So I got offered a job as a classroom assistant at a special needs school. Did that for a couple of years, got my teaching qualifications while I was there. Went to teaching for like 10, 15 years. And then my wife told me that I needed to make a change because I was kind of miserable in what I was doing the last couple of years in my teaching.
Right.
So made the jump. Decided to get into coaching 7 years ago.
Okay, nice.
I was like 34, so yeah, 8 years ago. And then that's the rest was it.
You've had the business for how long now?
So I opened Apocalypse 3 years this year. So this summer it'll be 3 years. But I also worked from another quality gym called Full Contact Performance Center, which is just across the road, just about 5-10 minutes away from where I am now. So I was there for a couple of years. I've worked at a rugby club. I was based there for 12 months.
Yeah. And
I was on parks before that. So pretty much like everyone. I think we all start on parks, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah. How did you come up with the name APOC or Apocalypse? I was looking at your Instagram. Apocalypse.
Yeah. So, I love it to sound like it was a real, like it was epiphany or something like that. But I just kind of like I was looking at words that kind of meant revealing or something that was like an unveiling of something, like revealing like a true self. And
right.
The original meaning of apocalypse is an unveiling. So it's like unveiling the truth. So that's the kind of, plus it sounds pretty cool as well.
Yeah. It's a good little branding with it as well. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. And now you train like adults, athletes, and general pop, I imagine, right? Like,
yeah. So
model like
the bulk of my clients are Gen Pop. So even though I got into this game thinking I'm going to train like elite athletes and it's going to be an elite athlete gym.
Wait, you don't train all pro athletes?
Yeah, I mean,
dude. That's all I'm doing is pro athletes.
I don't even talk to someone unless they're like earning money for playing sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been very fortunate to work with some pro athletes, and I still do as well. But the most of the income that comes to the gym is through work normal guys like us,
Hmm.
who just want to train, keep themselves fit and active. We've also started. Well, I've been training kids for the last 2.5 years. Um, and only recently we've just started to reshuffle that a little bit to make it into a bit more of a like an educational pathway.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I thought that was great that you were doing that. I saw a lot on your social media about that. That's pretty cool. You know, and it takes a special person to train and teach kids. It's not easy. It's a difficult task.
Yeah, well, I've got two boys and they're not easy, so they give me a lot of experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, very true. Very true.
Yeah, but yeah, I love that. I love that, and I think this year is going to be mainly concentrating on getting that up and running. Um,
Yeah.
I'm looking to have a few really really good coaches under our roof who like kind of going on what you were saying before. They're not apocalypse coaches as such.
Hmm.
But they work for themselves, got their own business, but we're all under the same roof. So we do our own thing, but we're all kind of like together.
Right.
Um, so yeah,
And they pay
so
you rent, I imagine.
sorry, say that again.
And they pay you rent, I imagine. Correct?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So they pay like a certain like a fixed fee for each of the coaches,
Nice.
and we try and keep it lower than what the commercial gyms kind of charge because it's usually like
Of course.
extortionate.
Oh, of course.
Um,
Oh, of course.
yeah. So how about you at your place? Because if anyone's watching this and have not seen Mike's facility, I know you got a team there. Um, But yeah, you need to
Yeah.
look at that because it's a badass facility.
Yeah, so we like in 8 years we've gone through so much change and evolution, and I think so like when I initially started in 2012, I had a small little location, um and at the time I was just doing mainly like one-on-one personal training. I think back in that realm, you know, I came out of the industry as like a one-on-one personal trainer. Like there was not much about group training when I started training like 14, 15 years ago. So then I started at like a big box health club for like about 3 years once I graduated my university program, and I'm like, you know, fuck this, like I'm not making any money, so let me open up my own gym and I will show them, right? Like it was just that typical type of bravado that I had. And it was mainly one-on-one training studio, but you know, like I was like the Franco disciple for so long. You know, I remember watching his YouTube videos, and YouTube wasn't even really cool anymore yet. And I'm like, man, I want a warehouse gym, right? Every trainer wanted a warehouse gym. So I think, you know, so I was in a small little studio space, maybe like 1,400 square feet. Um, it wasn't really what I wanted. It was kind of like more of like a boutique one-on-one training. And at the time I was working with a business coach, Vince Gabriel, who kind of pushed me getting into, or you know, Vince Gabriel, right? Are you familiar with Vince Gabriel from
I've heard the name, I
Gabriel
don't know a
Fitness?
lot of his work though. I will after this. I will.
He's from Jersey, and he was the whole CPPS group. So he kind of telling me that semi-private was the next wave of training. So I'm like, cool. Like my lease is up in my current spot, which was 8 years ago, and so I got this massive 5,000 square foot warehouse. That like my ego was so pumped. I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna be the coolest gym in town, and it was awesome. Right? It was great. Like I decked it out with Rogue and had all the cool CPPS banners. And we were there for 5 years in that facility, and it was awesome. It was what I thought I wanted then. I had a team. I had like 3 full-time employees. Um, they were all salary. We were doing all the great stuff. But what I found was that I wasn't any more happy. And every gym or every gym business book says you need to get out of the business so you can work on the business, which I agree with. Like you need to work on the business to make it thrive and function. But I removed myself away from the training so much that the brand and what I wanted from it didn't really match. And so yes, I was bringing in clients, I was bringing in revenues, and we were doing well, but there was something missing in the brand, and the brand was essentially me. And like it sucks, right? Because we always try to think that we can be replaced, but we really can't. We are the brand. So it took me about a good 2 years, but I ended up letting go of some trainers. Some trainers quit. I pretty much took over all the training, and the brand started getting better. But then I realized that I have this massive 5,000 square foot facility that I'm like, fuck, it's expensive. I have to clean it. Like it's a big operation when you're in it. So my lease was up at that time as well. And I'm like, you know, what better opportunity than now when I can change and sort of pivot. So I essentially pivoted my gym from a 5,000 square foot facility. I found half the size, about 20 minutes across town. So like my members weren't happy. It was it was a big shock to the system because we were in this area for so long that I essentially moved my entire brand and gym to like another part of town. And so the space that I'm in right now is like I think 2,200 square feet, small, tiny, intimate. But now I can actually do what I want to do, which is grow the brand the way I want it. And I realize that a business isn't the size of the location; it's the heart of the community. It's the heart of the message. It's the heart of the brand. It's creating something that, number one, you can go to bed at feeling accomplished and satisfied with, but then also able um, to serve your community better, which is what I wanted. So now we have a small intimate setting. We have either like our semi-private, which is individualized custom training groups of 4. So like everyone has their own program through their app. Or we also have our sweat strength, which is more like a larger group strength class, so like up to 10 people, but it's primarily strength work, just as if you were doing one-on-one. It's, hey, like we're doing barbell lifts, we're doing accessory work. It's very guided, and I'm sure it's the same thing as you, and I know that just from seeing what you do online is, you know, it's very rooted in science. It's rooted in, hey, let's teach you how to navigate the nuances of fitness, because anybody can jump around and do circuit training. You can get a YouTube video for free. But what people are paying us for is the knowledge of all these little nuances of fitness, like how to warm up and how to do your warm up sets, how to add weight, like all these little things that you and I probably take for granted because we just love this fucking shit. Our members have no idea. We were taking beginners who have no idea what barbell training is, and we're teaching that, and we make it palatable in an atmosphere that is, you know, by far the best thing I've ever created so far. And like I can't wait to get back to that because our members finally realize how important that community and atmosphere is. Now that we're in this pandemic, we're doing virtual online training, and people fucking hate it. People hate working out at home. So I'm excited to see like the next wave of progression.
Yeah. Wow. If any person is looking at like what kind of enthusiasm you need into how to run a business or how to look after your community, how to build a community, just listen to that those last few 3, 4, 5 minutes just there, because like I want to go over there and train you.
so I won't say that I talk a pretty big game, but I'm far from perfect. I have a lot of shit to figure out still, and there's still a lot that I'm learning. But I know the message that I want to create. I know what I want. Getting there, the process is difficult, but like we're living, right? Like every day you try your best and you do your best, and like if you don't succeed, so what? You tried at least, right? So that's kind of my thing, and I think I'm realizing right now, especially in this time, and I'm gonna go back and forth because I jump around, whatever. But like like one thing that I realized in this whole pandemic and this isolation is that it's allowed me to take a step back and get my sleep in, get my 8 hours of sleep. But it's also it's giving me the opportunity to take a step back and reassess like where's my gym headed, what it is that I want, what like it's such a cool opportunity that I'm going to take. And I think people need to take that message and put it into the rest of their life. Like where is it that they want their life to go from now on? Because it's going to be different. Everything's going to be different now. And I don't know.
Yeah, it's a reboot for us all. Like you say, because we work on sociable hours. So there are times when, you know, you'll probably be exactly the same. You're in the gym at 5, getting ready for a 6 o'clock session. Or you're working through the day. You might come home, see your family for 5-10 minutes, and you're back out again to do the same thing again, working till late at night. And that's not 1 or 2 days a week. That's 5, sometimes 6, even 7 days a week. So when we've never really had that time to actually look back and think, like you said, you have to remove yourself from the business a little bit just to concentrate on building that business.
Yeah.
With the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, you know, and I think when you're in it, like, dude, it's been 2 years of me being like the sole trainer and operator of the business. So like I'm putting in energy, and you know how draining that capacity is to really give your members what it is that they need. And it's like 5 a.m. to 7, 8 p.m. in the evening. Yes, you have your break in the middle of the day, but you're still working, you're still on, you're still thinking. And so like I went on autopilot for 2 years, autopilot. Um, and I didn't realize the neglect that I was putting in my life, how strained I was. And even when people would tell me that I was burning out or that I would burn out, I would wholeheartedly deny it. I'm like, I will never burn out. This is passion. And then looking back, now that I've been able to calm down a bit, I'm like, fuck, I was burnt out. I had no capacity for my loved ones. I had no capacity for myself. I had no capacity for anything. And so I think this opportunity, even for you and I right now, is number one, let's reconnect on what it is that we love to talk about, which is talking shop. But then also, let's build an online presence that potentially can lead us to more freedom without having to go to these gurus. And one thing that you probably see bombarded on your social media is these sponsored ads about, creating freedom and all this bullshit about, online training. Everyone is going online now. So how do you differentiate yourself from everybody else? And I think the answer there is the exact same how you differentiate yourself from a brick and mortar facility. You create the environment, you create the culture by being present. And so you do the same thing online, but now you got to double down online and really show your presence. That way people are like, wow, this guy like resonates with me. Like his message resonates with me. I want to hear him speak more. I want him I want to be part of it more, essentially, right? And I think that's what trainers have to realize, that a push-up is a push-up is a push-up. The way we teach a push-up is the exact same. But how do you make them feel when they're doing that push-up? That's the key, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm sure. So one of the things that we have is like, outside the gym, we have a lot of meetups, which I'm sure that you guys do. So, at Christmas, we all get together, we all go out for a meal, maybe have 1 or 2 drinks, maybe have 1 or 2 more drinks than we normally would. And, so like I say, we're meeting up once a week online with this. We have a WhatsApp group where we're constantly like just bouncing messages to each other. And it does feel like, as corny as it sounds, but it does feel like a family, but not like a clique. Because the last thing I want to make is a clique. The last thing I want to make a community that's so strong that people feel intimidated to want to join. But like we said, the wider community, I don't really see, when I talk about community, I'm thinking of like everyone so we live in Rochdale, which is like Greater Manchester. So I'm thinking like all of Greater Manchester, even like all the northwest of England. That's the wider community where people. That's why I'm doing things like this, to try and get in touch with people and like speak to more people, because even we'll learn from everyone. One thing I've never understood is when you go to say, if you want to meet up with someone, or if you want to chat with someone, or go and visit a gym, it's like, yeah, we don't do that. We don't visit other gyms, or we don't speak to other coaches, and what we really like the way that we do things. And I've never really understood that.
I had the same discussion with the local owner yesterday, and for some reason, we're the only industry that doesn't get along. There's so many varying opinions on what philosophy is better, who's shit, who's whatever, and I'm just like, we're all in the same boat. We're all doing the same, and I'm sure you're the same way. But there's nothing more that I love than going to the CPPS cert, and like I've been fortunate to go like 4, 5, 6 times and being present there. But just connecting with these other guys and girls is fucking outstanding, and like that is what gets me going. And like I wish I could do more of that. Like I wish I could spend my whole full-time job doing a vlog on going to everybody's gym and just shooting this shit. But like what you're doing right now is excellent, and this could lead to so many more opportunities for you. Like it's essentially a podcast. So like now you can like roll that up as a business, right?
Yeah, cool. Except I love talking to people. I'm not always like this. I don't really like speaking on the camera. If you look at my Instagram posts, a lot of it is other people doing stuff. Not really me. You don't really see me on it that much. But yeah, I love doing stuff like this. But like I said, it's an opportunity to speak to people that I never really get a chance to speak to. And when you said before you've been to the CPS like 4 or 5 times, it sprung back in my mind. And then if you're looking at online content, everyone that's doing CPPS, that's on online content, you'll see Mike on there.
Yeah, nice. So, and you'll probably see my hairstyles change every year, every time I'm there.
It's looking. You're the second coach that I've spoken to this week that's got quite fresh looking hair. So at the minute I'm kind of looking like a scarecrow. it's kind of like growing outwards. But yeah, you're the second coach that I've seen that's got quite a fresh cut there going on there, Mike.
So honest, I haven't got a fade in over 3 weeks, and it's killing me. So I've been wearing my hat a lot more lately, just to kind of cover it up, cover up my grays. I don't know if you can see the gray on the camera, but the stress is real. Stress is real.
Yeah.
You know? But going back to like the community and not building cliques, I think that's so important. And like I'm going through a tough time right now, personally, and the amount of support I've been getting from my members, calling me, reaching out, wanting to hang out with me even during times like this, and like I've never felt an unconditional love like this before. And I think it's like, I think for 8 years I've been trying to build this brand to be like family, community, and love and support. And for the first time, I'm like, wow, this is everything I've been working for right here. And the amount of support and love that I've been getting is unreal, and so it excites me to continue on. I think, and I'm sure you're the same way, it makes me want to continue to thrive.
No, yes, I think if you're passionate about helping people, then that's the big reward, like right there. I don't think we definitely don't get into this for the money.
There's other business that you could do to make more money. This is to fulfill your own life, but then also to make sure that you can kind of live life on your own terms, right? Like, support yourself. Are we going to be, multi-millionaires? Absolutely not. But if we wanted to be multi-millionaires, we wouldn't be doing this anyways. We'd be douchebags, whatever. I'm not saying that every millionaire is a douchebag, but like we'd be, selling real estate or having like a car company. I don't know. Like there's many other avenues of making a lot of money. This one, you absolutely can, but you're not going to be making the multi-millions that you think.
And those jobs that you say, they're probably kills.
Yeah.
we really, I can't really see myself in sales. I can't see myself doing anything.
No.
I've been lucky to have 2 good careers, one in teaching and one in like coaching, what I do now. And I think it's just exactly the same job. It's just a different subject that we're doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty lucky to have 2 jobs that I've loved to bits, and now I've got a job where I work for myself, and it's
awesome.
I still don't think it's a proper job.
I don't think so. So I'll be honest. I have never had any other job. Yes, I've had like part-time work as like a teenager. But this is my only career. I never had any other career other than personal training. And so like, I don't know anything different. This is just what it is, But that being said, I'm trying to make it so that it doesn't define who I am. And I find that that's difficult, is that people see me just as a fitness guy and nothing else. And so I'm so like in the next 8 years, my goal is to make sure that me as a human isn't defined as just fitness, as much as that I love it.
Yeah, that's important. You're the second person that I've spoken to that said similar.
Really?
Yeah. I think that is important. I think we shouldn't have one thing. I think when one thing defines you, this is only my opinion, you kind of put on a pedestal a little bit. So if you're only seen as one thing, you're kind of like the go-to person for that thing. It's like you're not allowed to make mistakes anymore. And maybe that's just the way I see it. But I do think that people should be multi-skilled, should be able to do more things. Or if you want to push them for a different avenue, you can do.
Yeah, well, and like even as silly as this, like on Instagram, like I almost feel silly posting anything else other than me deadlifting, squatting, or doing a push-up. I'm like, like if I don't post myself doing it, I'm like what else do I post? I post a picture of my face. I post a picture of me walking. Like I'm like that seems absurd. So even just as silly as saying that, like what else do I post if it's not a deadlift, right? And so like I kind of laugh at that it's.
We'll make a pact then. We'll both once a week we'll both post something that's not fitness related.
All right, that's gonna be today for me then. It's Friday. So last Friday I posted Fresh Kicks Friday.
What have you got? Have you posted it already?
I posted it last Friday. I posted on my personal. Do we follow? Yeah,
it's on my personal account.
I posted Fresh Kicks Friday. I said, since I can't get fresh fades anymore on Fridays, I'll just post photos of my kicks. So I posted a photo of my Converse, but
I did see him.
But I was in the gym, so I don't know if that counts.
Ah, right. Okay. No, no, no. It's okay. No, it's all right.
You
No, I
know,
see with
I'm,
the black high
yeah,
tops. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
This the one thing that this lockdown is killing my allowance, my savings, because I'm buying quite a few pair of trainers at the moment.
oh, dude, it's so addictive. I love it, right? I love a good pair of trainers, but well, especially there in Europe, man. Like the style is so much more cool than it is here in North America. I think.
It depends. I think so. I'm pretty like basic. I'm a bit of a basic bitch when it comes to like fashion
Yeah,
and stuff.
right,
I wear Nike, I wear Adidas, and I wear Converse trainers. That's pretty much the only three trainers that I wear.
right.
And all the limited editions and all the best styles seem to be in the States, or seem to be like
Uh,
outside of Europe.
yeah,
We're okay. We've got like a few Nike stores around here. It's okay, but
right, right.
um, I think the grass always looks greener no matter where you are.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
no, that's probably like the best thing that you've ever said right now. Yeah, the grass always looks greener. And I think you got to water your own lawn, your own grass, to make it green. Um, yeah, no, I agree a lot. But oh, I just had something I was gonna say, but I forget. I don't know, forget. I forget. Um,
Always. I'm sure you
oh,
can message
fuck.
me later.
Yeah, yeah. So what have you been doing like for your members other than just like the online training? Like how does the model work now for you?
So what we starting, so for the first week, it was more keeping in touch with people and just getting data from them, seeing what they've got. So what equipment have they got at home? Are they still working? Because some of our guys are key workers. So I don't know
Yeah.
if I think key work is kind of a global term now. So people who need to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so some of them are still working. So they were getting their training at night. A couple of my guys, one of the guys that trains with us is a doctor. Who actually caught COVID within 4 or 5 days of him being shipped to a new hospital. So he'd been quite
Wow.
poorly for a few weeks. We've got a few nurses that have been doing crazy shifts. So with them, really, it's been probably advising like recovery strategies rather than training. We're not even talking about training for some of these guys. Just
Right.
like, how's your sleep? Are you eating? What are you doing to
Mm-hmm.
kind of relax? Or it feels kind of stupid when you're asking that, because when you're in such a serious situation, fitness probably isn't the most important thing in that's going on for him right now. They're more probably about, are they going to get ill while they're going to work?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so with a lot of for the first week, it was just collecting data, see where they're up to, see what they've got, see if they can train, if they can get outdoors. If they don't fall under the vulnerable category where they have to stay indoors and not allowed out whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we got that data, it was just more writing programs. So we just wrote. So we've done a program to try and just to keep them active, get them at the first couple of weeks, because I had an idea it's going to be at least 6 to 8 weeks before we're on lockdown. So
Right.
for the first 3 weeks, it was just about just finding the feet and getting them to habit, and just finding a little bit of time through the week to get some activity in. So the programs are quite light, really, and it was more just a kind of like checking in just to see what they were doing. And then from
Yeah.
next week, we've given them like 4 challenges. So they picked one of 4 movements. So one of them is a handstand push-up, and that's basically me because I've never done one.
Right.
Not in my adult years anyway. A pistol squat, a basic push-up for strict reps,
Right.
and I always forget the 4th one. Pull-up,
Oh,
pull-ups.
nice. Great.
So things that probably we do a little bit of work on, but never as specific as this, because usually everyone wants to say, I want to be able to do X amount of weight on deadlift, or
Right.
whatever the goal is. Pull-ups, push-ups, pistol squats, and headstands, push-ups are never really on that top of the list.
But you know what's cool? You know what? I might actually take up on that challenge and bring it to my community because, while deadlifting, 3 times your body weight or whatever it is awesome. It's cool. There's nothing cooler than doing a pistol squat and a pull up. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that looks cooler than like doing you know what I mean? Like it's just, like is it functional? I don't know. Whatever, right? But like just to be able to do it and being able to control your body, I think it's great. And I think so many people want to do pull ups, but they don't, right? Because like we're always focused on the barbell list. So I think it's a cool little opportunity for people to try new things.
Yeah. That's our fault exactly, because it's stuff that you wouldn't really usually we avoid the stuff that we're not that great at.
Yeah, I
And
can't do a pistol squat.
oh, I
I
can't.
can't do a pistol. And like I have great mobility. I just for the life of me cannot do a fucking pistol. Not that I really care, but like at the same time I kind of want to do it.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't keep me up at night.
no.
But when someone says, "Can you do a pistol squat?" I'm pretty pissed off that I say no.
I know. No, I just respond. I don't fucking do CrossFit. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know. Although like, I will concede, I do love watching CrossFit. I think CrossFit's sweet as a sport. I don't know if you ever watched the documentaries, but it gets me going.
I'm envious of their fitness levels.
Oh,
So Paige was one of the coaches that I was talking to last week. She's a CrossFit coach,
cool.
and she's really, really well educated. She's got a really good thought. I mean, I've been Paige worked at our gym. She coached out of ours for about a year, so I got to know her quite well. And her approach to writing programs for CrossFit is not definitely doesn't fit the stereotype of CrossFit anyway, where it's like
Right,
test.
right. And
Um,
I think CrossFit has evolved now to be to be more scientific, and I think there's some boxes that do a really good job with that. I think I mean, and even if you look at like the first couple years of the CrossFit Games, even those athletes were doing piss poor form. Whereas now, if you look at the top like 20 athletes, the top 40 athletes, probably more, like they're all doing fucking unreal form and technique under high stress and fatigue. So like the sport's come a long way. Should everybody do it? No, just like not everybody should be deadlifting, right? So there's always pros and cons to everything,
yeah,
and again, this is why I I hate when there's exclusivity in the industry, like, and the whole thing is about like the whole burpee thing, how like burpees are terrible, nobody should be doing burpees, and I don't know, I agree and I don't agree. It's like and I feel like there's these top players in the industry that will say that, and because somebody wants to feel like, oh, this guy's on the pedestal and I want to be part of his camp, I will also say that burpees are terrible. I don't know if they're terrible. Maybe they are for certain people. Maybe for you and I, we can do them without injuring ourselves. So there's just so much back and forth that it the answer is it depends for
yeah,
everything. And
yeah.
so and there's more of that in the diet and nutrition space. It's like, fuck people,
That's
stop eating. You want to lose weight, stop eating. It's
yeah.
not.
That's a minefield in itself. I mean, we're lucky to have Adam, who's our certified nutritionist. So anything that comes out of my realm of my comfortable, like my knowledge of what I know, I just like kind of push over to Adam. But even then, it's a minefield. It's more, it's probably just as much psychology than it is actual,
Mm-hmm,
like knowing the rules of like, if you want to lose weight, it's calorie deficit.
mm-hmm.
That's the simple answer. But there's so many more. There's more of a psychological kind of uh,
Of course.
aspect to that.
Are
Uh,
aren't you happy? Aren't you happy that you're not a nutrition coach?
oh, I'm
It's
so happy.
a,
I'm so happy that I just stick to my lane. I'm just a dome
uh,
strength and conditioning coach. I don't mind that. I can do all that stuff.
it,
I know.
I can never be a nutrition coach. It is a daunting task because it's behavior, and it's not like and even like when I talk to my members about nutrition, it's like, at least for me, the way I look at it is, if you're looking to change and transform your life from a fitness and health standpoint, or anything really, even like career change, whatever it is, or bettering yourself as a human, is it should almost be like autopilot, where the moment you sort of flip that switch in your head, it makes sense to go and figure stuff out, and not be so anxious about everything else around you. It's like, like, so if I want to like really better myself, then I will be an adult and understand that, okay, I have to, get my fitness in order. I have to get my mindset in order. I have to get my sleep patterns in order. I have to not eat like an asshole. And so like, it sounds intuitive to me, but then I have to realize that not everybody has that same intuition like we do, and they need some coaching and guidance along the way. And I think for me, what's been helpful, because I have a tough time guiding and coaching people, even though that's my career. Uh, I try to lead by example as much as I can, and I just try to preach the exact same message over and over and over and over until they're fucking like sick of hearing it, but then they still love hearing it. So it's like I'm really trying to practice what are my key points of my message, and then fuck the rest. I'm just gonna drill home these 2-3 points, and hammer. That way people understand that it's just a habit forming. It's, like, you want to better yourself. Okay, like, let's start with step one, which is X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, right? So it's a difficult task, right? Like, it's not about me telling you eat an apple every 3 hours. It's about, how do you feel about yourself right now? Do you feel good about yourself in order to treat yourself with respect and love for you to make the right decision? Or do you wake up like a fucking piece of shit every morning because you hate yourself and you don't give a shit about eating that apple because it doesn't make your life any better, right? So I think it all starts with understanding that, like, you have to really want all of that. Otherwise, like, it doesn't matter what you have on paper from a dietary standpoint, even from a fitness standpoint. If you don't wake up with that excitement and love for yourself, then, like, I don't care what it is. Same thing goes. I'm going on a rant here, but same thing goes with like business coaching and all these gurus that are doing sponsored ads about, business coaching. It's like, I no longer have a business coach. I let go of that. I did not need um that shit to make me want to work. What I needed was to take ownership of myself, take ownership of my life and my career, in the path that I wanted, and to trust myself that I have the knowledge and tools necessary to get there. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna tell everybody to fuck off and not get feedback, but trusting myself again was the best thing I did for myself.
Yeah, there's some real interesting points there, mate.
Yeah.
So how's your own personal training looking now?
So pretty good. So since January of this year, I started using Train Heroic for our membership. So, like, all the trainings done on there, and I program on there, and it's given us as a community a way of people tracking their progress and understanding all those little nuances that I wanted to understand, and so that way they can visibly see it, and they can see the programming. And so because of that, I've also started using it, and it's actually, I'm not sure if you've ever used it, but it's a great training app where, like, you can track your progress. It really it tells you, like, over a course of the month, how many sessions you've done, what your training volume in pounds was. So it's a good way of kind of getting some feedback, and it's almost like a mini competition. The moment you say, start session, end session, it kind of triggers that fuck yeah, I accomplished something, like that check mark, and then, like, you do it every day and it makes you feel good, and then, like, you look over a course of a month, you did, like, 30 sessions, and it's like it motivates you to keep going. So since January, I've been going hard, um, in the sense of, like, being consistent, and I found great success just from, like, a mental clarity standpoint. Physically, I felt great. I felt like I was getting back to myself and my fitness level. And this shit came on, and I continued on, like, with my members. So, like, I currently do Zoom classes with my members virtually. I have, like, 3 sessions a day. So I'll try to pick at least one of those sessions and do it with them, and continue on with some type of body weight, or maybe, like, a light dumbbell here and there. So, like, I try to keep up with it. I'm not 100% with it, but, like, I don't think anybody is right now. But I try to hit at least 3 times a week minimum.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Same.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, like, a Train Heroic, I'm seriously considering switching from the organization I use at the moment to going to Train Heroic. I just did the you get, like, a 30-day kind of, like, you're free to have a little roam around and do your own little thing with it. I really like it.
Yeah.
One thing I like about the Train Heroic is the readiness assessment at the start of each session.
That's my favorite.
I really like
And
that.
that was, yeah, and that was one thing that caught my eye, was because I preach a lot about mindfulness, and, again, being ready and being mindful of how you feel day to day, because most people don't understand how the fuck they feel. They're kind of autopilot, so it gives them a sense of how they feel, and that what kind of got me hooked on it.
Yeah, I think the default answer, if anyone says, "How you feeling?" Yeah, I'm okay.
Or I'm fine.
Yeah,
I can't stand the word fine. It bothers me so much. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry if I'm swearing so much. If you have kids around, I apologize.
No, it's okay. No, this is England. We all swear anyway. No,
okay, cool. Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, so what have you got plans for this weekend or today? I'm guessing that we're probably all not going anywhere nice. We're probably just
No, do nothing. So I live by the lake here, and so I'm just gonna enjoy the lake. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a nice little lakefront that I'm going to just enjoy.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think I have a buddy coming over tonight, So
Oh, that is awesome.
6 feet apart.
So
Yeah.
I've seen a picture of that lake on your Instagram. I didn't realize it
Yeah.
was literally like outside your window.
Oh yeah, it's like it's right there. It's right there. Some nights it gets pretty rough, and so like it'll smash against the house. But
Really?
again, like it gives me a sense of peace and comfort. Um, it's it's been really nice for my mental state. You know.
Excellent.
What about you? Your plans?
Well, I'm gonna have a little catch up with a few people tonight on Zoom.
Nice.
We've got like a bit of an interactive bar going on, so we're just gonna catch up with people I've not seen for a bit.
Good. Good.
And then tomorrow evening, I'm gonna have another Zoom kind of catch up with the guys from the gym.
Perfect.
We'll just have a little bit like a quiz night, and basically it's just so we can all just take the piss out of each other for an hour.
Yeah,
Catch up.
it's so much fun. Like I think that's the best part of our job is that we get to swear to our members. We get to create these bonds that not many people get to do, man. It's special.
Yeah,
It's
I had 15 years of biting my lip and not being able to swear at kids when I was teaching them, and now it's like the reins are off. It's the only time I don't swear, I was at the house, and then when I get into the gym, I just let it all.
Right, totally different. What type of music do you listen
to? Wow. How long have you got? So depends what kind of moving. So from being like 12 up into adult life, I've always been kind of. So obviously with my age, I was like 12 in 1990. Mm-hmm. So I started growing up on things like Public Enemy, Wu-Tang Clan, No Cypress Hill, stuff like that. Yeah. So I kind of grew up through there. And then I got into Oasis through the 90s. Obviously Manchester band, they live like, or they're from like 20 minutes away from where I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listen to anything. I love blues. I love anything with guitars in, really. Well, not anything with guitar. There is some shit with guitars in, but pretty much anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's solid. It's funny. So like, I'm 34, so I'm a little bit younger than you are. I'm catching up. But yeah, so like 90s hip hop for me is awesome. I love that. And like probably in the last 2-3 years, I think Drake really got me going on this. But like a lot of grime. I love grime. And like I just love that the English, the European kind of. So I'm Italian. My parents are both Italian, so I visited Italy many times, and like Europe to me always has this sort of special kind of thing in my heart that I just love everything Europe for some reason, right? And so like grime kind of gives me that, you know. And I'm a big soccer fan, football.
Right, yeah.
So like I just have this kind of like also different culture that not many people know about me, right? Like it's like again, like we talk about identity, it's just about fitness instead of asking ourselves like, hey, like what music do you listen to? Do you watch sports? Do you watch others? Like it's just there's other interests that we have that we just don't really talk about because we almost feel like we have to put this persona online so much.
Yeah, I do try and post little bits, and mainly on my Instagram stories, little things that I do, kind of that's not fitness related.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I've played guitar for God knows how long, so
I saw that.
Try to learn little bits of new things. So I try and post that on, and then I don't mind posting.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
It broke up.
Probably talk all day.
Yeah. I'm gonna because I've got another one after this. Well, about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna grab a quick drink and then.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dude, great connecting, great catching up, great talking to you. We should do this again.
Thanks for your time, and I'm definitely do this again. There's pretty much everyone that I've spoken to that said, you know, let's do this. So I'm thinking more like maybe getting a topic and doing like a round table of something.
That'd be awesome.
Subjects. But I think
that'd be awesome. This has so many opportunities for you. I think it's awesome. Keep going with it.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Awesome.
All right, dude. We will definitely So I've got a mate who lives in Ontario, and I looked at Ontario, and I didn't realize how big that place is.
Massive. Whereabouts in Ontario?
I have to find the address. He's been there. I think he's lived over there longer than he ever lived in the UK. He moved not long after leaving like college, so he would have been maybe 20 years, something like that.
Wow, quite some time. Nice. Yeah, it's so I'm border city with Detroit.
Yeah, I noticed that's pretty much. It looks like well, I don't know the distance on the map. It looks like a bit of a stone throw away. Doesn't look too far.
Oh yeah, like I could throw a football. I'm kidding, I can't. No, but yeah, it's like it's right there, right? Like it's super close. So a lot of our influence even here is very like American because
Yeah.
we're so close, right? Like if I want to catch a live sport or concert, like it's like a 10-minute drive over, right? It's not bad at all.
All right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Thanks for your time, buddy. Always
No,
appreciate it. I know you're a busy
anytime.
guy, so I appreciate it.
No, actually, I'm not busy at all today. It's Friday and it's quarantine. No, I appreciate you doing this, and I look forward to the next time.
Oh, good. Good speaking to you,
Thanks,
man.
brother. Awesome, man. Take care.
Safe,
Be
bud.
safe. Bye.